All right, guys, what's up, guys? Ray From here. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe on all my platforms and all my streaming places and everything. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified. There will be an audio version over on my podcasting side of things on Spotify, Rafe Nation podcast. Check that out. This is where this audio version will be added because I know a lot of you don't pay for YouTube Premium and things like that. So you guys can't take advantage of that pro feature where you can, put your phone on snooze and still be able to hear it as you're working. A lot of you have Spotify Premium, and I get it. It's hard out there with all these subscriptions and everything. You got to pick and choose what you can afford and what you can't afford. So I get it. That's why I facilitate, and I got you over on Spotify. So anyway, let's get into this night one of the draft. WWE's 2023 draft on SmackDown. What a joke. What a joke. What a joke, man. Like, for real. What a joke. SmackDown got most of the talent. It's like, it's horrible. Like, did Bianca really need to be on SmackDown? I get Roman Reigns. I get Solo Sikoa. I mean, okay, Edge, Bobby Lashley, and all Damage Control. Like, fuck all Damage Control. Seriously. Like, nobody cares. Ember Fire, I get it. They brought that tag team over, the women's tag team belts over to SmackDown, so I get that. The OC, Michin, no one cares. I'm sorry. I love AJ Styles being back. Great, he's healthy. Great, he's doing his thing. But no one gives a about Michin, to be honest with you. Michin has been booked so bad. She's been buried within the OC, and Mia Yim deserves better. Mia Yim should have been AEW, and it would have been better for her, honestly, personally. Now, here's the other thing that people complain about. Like, there's going to be more title belts. If they're going to keep these shows exclusive to where nobody can hop between the products, you're going to have women's tag team SmackDown champions. You're going to have, you're just going to have tons of champions over here. You're going to have to have SmackDown championship belts. And people complain about AEW having too many belts, but SmackDown and Raw are going to have their own championship belts. Outside of I guess the United States is going over to SmackDown, I guess, at this point. And Raw is getting the Intercontinental belt, I guess. Gunther, and Imperium is going to be over on Raw, I guess. And that's for SmackDown so far. So what do we got on Raw? We got Imperium, Indy Hartwell. Like, they got the NXT champion, Indy Hartwell. So Indy Hartwell was called up. I'm assuming Carmelo Hayes is going to be called up at this point for SmackDown. I'm assuming, and Braun will be on Raw, I guess. And from my understanding with these drafts on night two, once they conclude everything on Raw, this is from my understanding that none of these people are going to be able to split. So what tells me is you're going to have Raw tag team titles on one side and you're going to have SmackDown on another. So where does Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens go? What show are they tweeners? Like, Triple H did say that they were going to keep two separate pay-per-views going forward, and separate this and separate that and separate rosters and separate everything. And like, if you didn't get called, you maybe put in NXT. They're treating it like baseball or NHL or NBA where you get put in the G League. So here's my question to all this. It's so confusing. Are they going to have separate belts? What are they going to have? Are they going to have the NXT title on Raw and they'll get to defend it on Raw? Like, it just, to me, I just don't know. I find this silly. The whole Cody Rhodes thing I find silly. You have him on Raw, which you should have him on SmackDown fighting against Roman Reigns. What was the whole point of what they did at Mania then? What was the whole point going into Backlash? What's the whole point going forward with Cody? I just feel like WWE just doesn't care about the fans. I just think they think we're a walking freaking joke. At the end of the day, this whole thing was just like Drew McIntyre, Matt Riddle. Like, Matt Riddle's barely in the building. Matt Riddle should be on SmackDown personally. I might have a sip of my coffee because I need to drown the salt in my mouth because WWE left me with salt in my mouth personally. The Miz has always been a Raw guy. They don't value him like that. He's just a talking piece for them. Shinsuke, they said they're going to give Shinsuke and Chad Gable a push, believing it is seeing it at this point. Again, SmackDown, like right now, if you look at both night one rosters outside of the OC, who gives a shit about the OC and Meechin? No one cares. No one cares outside of AJ Styles. Damage control. No one cares. Bailey a joke. Bobby Lashley, yes. Again, Edge, great. Street Profits, again. Nobody cares. And again, wherever the Street Profits go, that's where Bianca usually goes. So it goes Bianca, and then her husband and her and partner go usually where Bianca goes. So there's that. And Becky on Raw, who cares? Like, at the end of the day, this was just awful. Like, it didn't make me excited for the rest of the year, WWE. This did not make me go, oh my God, woo! I just felt like I was insulted. I was more interested in the Laker game, okay? Because my Lakers were playing, than a blowout game than I cared about SmackDown. If I'm going to be honest with you, I was watching both of them side by side on my third monitor and my second monitor, and I could tell you that I just didn't care enough to care. Like they had all these old timers like Road Dogg and this guy and that. Who cares? Who cares? Like, I get you were trying to do like the NFL draft. I get it, trying to make it all fire. Outside some of the NXT call-ups, I just didn't really care. Flat out didn't. I felt, honestly, you're going to have to make different titles happen. You're going to have to make SmackDown women's tag team titles now. You're going to have to separate those titles for the undisputed tag team belts now for both sides. Rumor has it they're going to have two separate belts, SmackDown and Raw. They're going to remake them. They're going to come out with, I just think it's silly. Just make them both like back in the day. Make them black strapped with red in the middle and blue in the middle, and just call it a day. At the end of the day, just do that. If you're going to go back to traditional championships and make them look like that, do what they did with SmackDown. Just make the one red and make the one blue. Just call it a day and just be done with it. Honestly, I'm serious. They need to have a cruiserweight title somewhere in this. There's a lot of things WWE could be doing a lot better. And this wasn't it, Chief. This was more of insulting my intelligence. Totally spitting on fans, literally. That's how I feel about this. With Cody, like, is Cody going to be a tweener in between both? Which they said they weren't going to do that. These shows, once they get the rosters locked in, technically that's going to be that. So where, like, supposedly Roxanne Perez, where does she go? Where does Braun Breaker go? Where does Carmella Hayes? It looks like they're going to bring those three up, honestly. Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly's got to go somewhere. I'm assuming Pretty Deadly's going to be on Raw or SmackDown. They're gonna fill it out because they go night one, night two. There's separate pay-per-views at this point for both brands. It's just honestly, to me, I don't care, and I hope the Street Profits out of this get a push. The whole Roman Reigns thing I think is silly. Cody should be on SmackDown fighting for this. They made him, finish the job. That's what he's been trying to do. Finish the job. And that storyline is now ruined. Is Cody going to be your first WWE World Heavyweight Champion, or the relaunch of the championship belt? We all give AEW their shit, right, about their titles. Well, some of my friends do. And the thing I feel about it is WWE's going to have a lot of belts coming forward. They're going to have to. They're going to have to introduce new women tag team belts for SmackDown. They're going to have to introduce new championships for tag teams on both sides. You're going to have the United States belt over here. Over on the other side, you're going to have, on Raw, you're going to have the Intercontinental belt. Then you're going to have Raw tag team belts. And to me, if you're going to have a lot of these short guys on these products, then you might as resurrect the Cruiserweight title. You might as just resurrect that at this point. To me, you might as resurrect it, make one blue, make one black, or black, and then make both black, and then make the colors inside like blue and red. Or something of the range. But, it's just my thoughts on this. I'm shitting all over this because it was garbage. This was horrible. And I did not care for it. And if I get flack by the IWC, YWC from my standpoint on this, Damage Control is going nowhere. They should have split that group up along. Dakota Kai and Io Sky are better on their own. They were better on their own in NXT. Flat out. Bayley, what has she done lately? Why are we still trying to push the same narrative? Same with the OC. AJ Styles does not need the OC. They need him to stay relevant. Michin, put her name back to Mia Yim. It's not working. And then I really hope that like Shotzi Blackheart and a lot of them go back to NXT. I hope they get drafted over to NXT because Shotzi ain't been great on either or product. They don't know what to do with her. Chelsea Green, same thing. They don't know what to do with her. Put her back on. Same with Emma. Put her back over on, they're changing Matt Cap to Roddick Moss or whatever his goddamn name is. Why don't you call him Roddick Strong? Like, Jesus. It's just, to me, it's just WWE doesn't know what to do. Like, Triple H does not know what he's doing right now. He is making bonehead moves, man. And I don't know what else to tell people. It's like, did we go back to Captain Vince McMahon and Vince McMahon steering the ship and telling Triple H in his ear, if I'm not in the back, I feel like he's got an earpiece and Vince McMahon's calling, like, through the internet, calling shots. And these moves feel like Vince McMahon moves to me. Like, for real. Like, Ember Fire, I don't think they're going to be able to do the same things they do now on NXT. I don't think that's happening. The whole goo out their mouth and things like that, I don't think they're going to be able to do that on main product. Bianca Belair, what's going to happen? For the love of God, with these women's titles, can they take the white straps and turn them, like, I get it, they're trying to differentiate men to the women's titles, but please, for all that's holy, please change these belts back to black. Change these straps to black. When you look at Bianca holding up the title, it looks like it's got, like, the title has gone through a war. Like, the strap looks like it's been chewed up. And I wish they'd go back to that button design, like the button belt thing, instead of these zip tie kind of belts or the Velcro. It's just annoying and it doesn't look present. Like, if you look at Bianca Belair when she holds the belt. Look at how chewed up that belt looks. If you're trying to go off premium of these titles, please, for the love that's all holy, make them literally have buttons on the back to where they put a button in the back. It's just, to me, Velcro doesn't come off looking good to me. It just doesn't. When you see the women holding it up, it looks like the belts have been chewed. Like a dog's toy. Like, for real. The only thing I will find out of it that was major out of this was the way they're booking Cody. Now this just doesn't book Cody right. Does he fight for diversity and then get traded over to SmackDown, go against Roman? Is that what they're going to do? Have him go through? Or is he going to be your first ever WWE, World Heavyweight Champion? That just makes no sense. Excuse me, I had some water there because I got to clean the salt out of my mouth. I got to clean the damn old salt out of my mouth because I'm kind of salty. WWE left salt in my mouth. Like, I get Solo Sikoa. They're going to have the bloodline on SmackDown. I get it. I get what they're going for. They're going to have the bloodline on SmackDown. Totally get it. I hope Sami Zayn and Kevin stay somewhere on SmackDown or Raw either way. It doesn't bother me either way. But this whole thing was stupid. Hopefully Night 2 changes it like The Miz. Let's get real here. The Miz. Like, great. The Miz has always been a Raw guy. They don't value him like that. Shinsuke, where has he been lately? They said that he's going to get a push with Gable. Let's wait and see on that. Imperium over on Raw. I guess they need to switch. Indy Hartwell, she just got the title and barely has had a run in NXT. So you're going to have her drop the belt just to be on Raw? I mean, it just makes no sense with her. McIntyre, you can put him on fuck all Raw because really, to be honest with you, his contract's expiring. He said he wasn't going to renew with WWE. So, Drew McIntyre looks like he's just going to be AEW bound. Becky Lynch, she's been floundering between both shows anyway. So she's going to be on Raw probably with Seth. And Matt Riddle, who gives a shit? Like, I like Matt Riddle, but they don't have any value in him. No, they just really don't. And Shinsuke, they don't either. So at the end of the day, I don't know what else to say. Like, that's it. That's all I got to say here. Like, this is a joke to me, and I just felt like it was a spit in the face. I really do. Anyway, this has been my personal opinion of SmackDown Night 1 draft, whatever. I was more into the basketball games than I was freaking watching SmackDown. So anyway, this has been Rafe. Honestly, I'm going to give this show a solid C-. That's where I'm at. It was below average to me. And I just felt disrespected by WWE a little bit. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.